Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare wheat pennies. These classic coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties, their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're diving into a classic piece of American numismatic history, the United States of America wheat penny from 1935. At first glance, it might look like just an ordinary old cent, but don't be fooled. This coin hides secrets that make it incredibly fascinating, highly collectible, and in some rare cases, shockingly valuable. Stick with me until the very end of this video, because I'm going to reveal just how much this coin could be worth in top condition. And believe me, you'll want to hear it. Let's begin with a little history. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the very first American coin to feature a real person's portrait, breaking the tradition of symbols and allegorical figures. By 1935, the wheat penny had already become a beloved part of everyday life in the United States. This was the middle of the Great Depression, a time when every penny truly counted, and millions of these coins changed hands daily. Despite their large production numbers, many 1935 wheat pennies have disappeared, worn down by circulation, or ended up lost forever. That's why collectors today are eager to find examples that have survived in excellent condition. Now, let's talk about the design. On the front, or obverse, you'll see the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials are subtly placed on the shoulder, a detail that once sparked controversy when first introduced. Surrounding Lincoln's profile are the words, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 1935. On the reverse side, you'll find two graceful wheat stalks curving upward, framing the words, "1 cent," and "United States of America." This simple yet bold design is why we call it the wheat penny, and it remains one of the most recognizable coin designs in U.S. history. So, what makes the 1935 wheat penny rare and desirable? While millions were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the key is condition and errors. Most of these pennies were used for decades, and by the time they were retired, they were heavily worn. Uncirculated examples, those that have never been used in commerce, are extremely hard to come by today. Collectors crave these pristine coins because their sharp details and brilliant luster showcase the beauty of the original design. But beyond condition, there's another factor that sends values soaring: minting errors. During production, mistakes happen, and when they do, they create unique coins that collectors go crazy for. Some known errors on the 1935 wheat penny include double dies, where the design looks doubled due to a misaligned strike, off-center strikes where part of the design is missing, and even die cracks that create unusual raised lines across the coin surface. Each of these errors transforms an ordinary penny into a one-of-a-kind treasure. The rarer the error, the more collectors are willing to pay. Imagine stumbling upon a 1935 wheat penny in your pocket change or in a box of old coins handed down through the family. At first, it looks like nothing special, just a dark copper coin nearly a century old. But then, under a magnifying glass, you notice something unusual, maybe a double date or a crisp shine that suggests it has never been spent. That's when the excitement kicks in, because you might just have discovered a coin worth a small fortune. Collectors are passionate about wheat pennies not only because of their history, but also because they symbolize a time in America when even the smallest coin had great importance. Holding one in your hand is like holding a piece of the 1930s, a reminder of a generation that endured hardship yet pressed forward with resilience. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to own a 1935 wheat penny in spectacular uncirculated condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, its value can reach an astonishing $84,000. Yes, you heard that right. $84,000 for a single penny that once bought a stick of gum or a handful of candy. That's the magic of coin collecting. What looks like a simple copper coin can actually be a rare artifact and a hidden treasure. So, check your collections, look through your change jars, and ask your grandparents if they've got any old pennies tucked away. You never know. you could be holding one of the most valuable cents ever minted. Top 2, we are going to explore the fascinating story behind the United States wheat penny from the year 1939. This coin may look like just another old cent that you might find at the bottom of a drawer, but once you know its history, its rarity, and its potential value, you will never look at it the same way again. So sit back, listen carefully, and let's dive into the world of this remarkable coin. The Wheat Penny series, also known as the Lincoln Cent, began in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. It was groundbreaking at the time because it was the first regularly circulating coin in the United States to feature the portrait of a real person. The design became instantly popular and continued to be minted until 1958, when the reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial. The 1939 wheat penny falls right in the middle of this beloved era. America was emerging from the Great Depression and heading toward World War II. Money was tight, people were saving every cent, and coins like the wheat penny carried a lot of meaning in daily life. The design of the 1939 penny is simple yet powerful. On the obverse side, you see the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln facing to the right. The inscriptions include Liberty on the left, the date 1939 on the right, and the phrase "In God We Trust" above his head. On the reverse side are the iconic wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. At the top is the motto E Pluribus Unum. This classic design by Victor David Brenner is instantly recognizable and one of the reasons collectors love wheat pennies. But what makes the 1939 wheat penny so special for collectors today is not just its design, but its rarity in top condition and the presence of certain minting errors. Millions were minted at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. The Philadelphia mint produced the largest number, while Denver and San Francisco struck far fewer. Even though these pennies were common in circulation during the late 1930s and 1940s, very few have survived in pristine condition. Most were spent, passed from hand to hand, worn down, and eventually lost. When a coin from 1939 appears in uncirculated or mint state condition with sharp details and full luster, it becomes an exceptional find. Now let's talk about errors and varieties, the details that transform an ordinary coin into a rarity. Some 1939 wheat pennies show doubled dies, where the lettering or the date looks doubled due to a mistake during the minting process. Others may have repunched mint marks, especially the Denver D or San Francisco S, where the letter was punched more than once and left a shadow effect. There are also off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks that create unusual features across the surface of the coin. Collectors adore these error coins because each one is unique, a small accident of history preserved in copper. The rarer the error, the higher the value collectors are willing to pay. Imagine going through an old jar of coins in your attic or finding a dusty penny in a relative's collection, only to realize it's a 1939 wheat penny in perfect condition. At first glance, it seems ordinary, but under closer inspection, you spot a brilliant shine, crisp details, or even a rare error that makes it one of a kind. That is the thrill of coin collecting. The discovery that something so small and familiar can be a hidden treasure worth far more than its face value. Collectors love the 1939 wheat penny not only for its beauty, but also for the story it tells. It connects us to an era of American resilience, when people held tightly to every cent. Owning one in pristine condition is like holding a piece of history, a reminder of the strength of ordinary Americans in difficult times. And now, the part you have been waiting for. If you were lucky enough to own a 1939 wheat penny in uncirculated condition, especially one with a rare minting error, its value can reach an incredible $82,000. Yes, you heard me right. $82,000 for a single penny that most people would pass by without a second thought. That is the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary objects transformed into priceless treasures by history, rarity, and the eyes of those who know their worth. So take another look at your coin jars, your collections, and your family keepsakes. You never know when a simple old penny could turn out to be the discovery of a lifetime. Top 3, I'm bringing you the story of a coin that might be sitting unnoticed in a collection or an old jar in your home. The United States wheat penny from the year 1942. At first sight, it looks like just another copper penny, the kind millions of Americans used every day. But don't be fooled, because in certain cases, this coin can be worth far more than you could ever imagine. Listen carefully, enjoy the story, and let's explore why this simple cent has become so fascinating to collectors around the world. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. By 1942, the coin had already been in circulation for more than 3 decades and had become a familiar part of daily American life. But the year 1942 was no ordinary year. The United States was deeply involved in World War II, and resources like copper were becoming critical for the war effort. While the steel pennies did not arrive until the following year, the 1942 issues already represent that turning point in history where even the smallest coin had to be considered in light of the nation's needs. Holding one of these pennies is like holding a snapshot of wartime America. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll see the proud portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. His strong profile is surrounded by the words "In God We Trust" above, Liberty on the left, and the date 1942 on the right. Depending on where it was minted, you may also see a mint mark just below the date, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. On the reverse side, you'll find the two wheat stalks curving upward to frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto E Pluribus Unum across the top. Simple, elegant, and instantly recognizable, this design has become one of the most beloved in U.S. coin history. Now, what makes the 1942 wheat penny so interesting to collectors? First, its rarity in top condition. While millions were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, most circulated heavily for decades. They were used to buy candy, newspapers, and other small items during the 1940s. Very few survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. A coin with sharp details, full mint luster, and no signs of wear can be worth far more than one that has been used in everyday transactions. Collectors chase after these high-grade examples, and the difference in value between a worn penny and a mint-state one is astounding. But beyond condition, errors and varieties are the true gems of the 1942 wheat penny. During production, mistakes sometimes occurred, creating unique coins that today are worth a fortune. One of the most sought after is the doubled die variety, where the date or lettering appears doubled under magnification. Repunched mint marks are also known for this year, where the mint mark D or S was struck more than once, leaving a shadow-like appearance. Off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and die cracks also appear among 1942 pennies, and each one tells its own story of how the minting process wasn't always perfect. These errors are what collectors love most, because no two error coins are ever exactly alike. Imagine sorting through a box of old coins and spotting a 1942 wheat penny. At first, you think nothing of it, but under closer inspection, you see something unusual. Maybe the date looks doubled, or the mint mark is repunched, or the coin has a perfect shine despite being more than 80 years old. That moment of discovery is what makes coin collecting so thrilling. What once was a common penny could suddenly turn out to be a rare treasure. The 1942 wheat penny is not only about its potential value, but also its connection to history. It represents a time when America was united in effort, when even copper was precious, and when small coins like this were part of everyday sacrifice and perseverance. Collectors know that when they hold a coin from this year, they're holding a piece of that history. And now, the moment you have been waiting for. Top 4 today's journey takes us into the world of a humble little coin that many people have seen but few truly understand. The United States wheat penny from 1950. At first glance, it seems like just another cent, the kind your grandparents might have carried in their pockets. But what if I told you that this very penny, under the right conditions and with the right features, could be worth a small fortune? Stay tuned until the very end, because I'm going to reveal just how much money this coin can bring. And I promise, the number will surprise you. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, has always been one of the most collected coins in American history. First struck in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it was the first regularly circulating U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. By 1950, the wheat penny was already a familiar sight in every American's pocket. These were post-war years, a time of rebuilding, growth, and optimism. Pennies were spent on candy, newspapers, and countless small purchases, which means that most of the coins minted in 1950 were used heavily and worn down over the decades. Now let's look at its design. On the obverse side, you'll see the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's strong profile faces to the right, surrounded by the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 1950. Below the date, you might find a mint mark, a small D for Denver or S for San Francisco, while coins without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia. The reverse side features the classic two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with E pluribus unum arching above. Simple yet elegant, this design captured the spirit of the nation for nearly half a century. So, what makes the 1950 wheat penny valuable today? The answer lies in both rarity and condition. While millions of these pennies were struck across the three mints, most of them saw decades of circulation. They were tossed in jars, clinking in piggy banks, or simply worn out from daily use. Because of this, finding a coin from 1950 in pristine, uncirculated condition is incredibly rare. Collectors place a huge premium on coins that still have their original luster and sharp details. The difference in value between a heavily circulated penny and a mint-state gem can be staggering, but that's not the only factor. Minting errors from this year make certain 1950 wheat pennies even more desirable. Error coins are always a hot topic among collectors because they're like little accidents of history. Some known errors for 1950 include doubled dies, where the date or lettering looks doubled under magnification. There are also re-punched mint marks, where the D or S was struck more than once, leaving a faint shadow of the letter. Other errors include off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing, and clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin's edge is cut away. Each error makes the coin unique and can drastically increase its value. Imagine rummaging through an old family coin jar and pulling out a 1950 wheat penny. To most people, it would look like just another old cent. But under closer inspection, you notice a shine, crisp details, or maybe even a minting error that sets it apart. That's when the excitement begins, because you might be holding something truly valuable without even realizing it. The 1950 wheat penny also carries emotional weight for collectors. It represents post-war America, a time when the country was moving forward, families were building new lives, and coins like this were part of everyday transactions. Owning one is like owning a small piece of that history, a connection to a time when even a single cent carried meaning. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. If you happen to own a 1950 wheat penny in absolutely pristine uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a rare and dramatic error, its value can climb to an astonishing $78,000. Yes, you heard me right, $78,000 for a single penny that once bought a stick of gum. That is the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary objects transformed into extraordinary treasures by history, condition, and rarity. Oh, don't overlook those old coins sitting in jars, albums, or tucked away in drawers. You never know when you might uncover a hidden gem worth a fortune. Top 5, we're going to talk about one of the most iconic coins in American history, the United States wheat penny from 1958. At first, it looks like a simple old cent, the kind you might find at the bottom of a drawer, but don't be fooled. This little coin has secrets that make it special, rare, and in some cases, worth far more than you would ever imagine. Stay with me until the very end, because I'm going to reveal the shocking value this coin can reach, and it will definitely surprise you. The Wheat Penny series began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and it remained in circulation until 1958. That means the 1958 wheat penny marks the very last year of this beloved design before the reverse changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in 1959. Because of that, collectors view the 1958 issue as not just another coin, but the final chapter of an era. When you hold a 1958 wheat penny, you're holding the end of a 50-year tradition. Let's take a closer look at the design. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner. Surrounding him are the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1958. Just below the date, some coins carry a mint mark, D for Denver, while coins without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia. On the reverse side, you'll see the two wheat stalks arching around the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the phrase E pluribus unum at the top. It is simple, elegant, and instantly recognizable, a design that became one of the most loved in American numismatic history. So, what makes the 1958 wheat penny so attractive to collectors today? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and errors. Millions of pennies were produced in 1958, especially in Denver, but most went straight into circulation and were used heavily for decades. By now, the majority of them are worn down and ordinary. Finding one in pristine, uncirculated condition with full original luster is not easy. Collectors will pay a premium for coins that look just as they did the day they left the mint, but the real excitement comes from errors and varieties. The most famous and valuable variety from this year is the 1958 double die penny. On these rare coins, the inscriptions and the date show dramatic doubling, which is clear even without magnification. Only a handful of these double die examples are known to exist, and they are considered some of the rarest and most valuable coins in the entire wheat penny series. Other errors from 1958 include repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets, each of which makes the coin unique and highly desirable. Imagine finding a 1958 penny in an old collection or a forgotten coin jar. At first, it seems like nothing more than a common set. But then you notice the date looks doubled, or the coin has the perfect shine of an uncirculated piece. Suddenly, what was once thought to be worth only a penny could be a treasure valued in the thousands or even tens of thousands. That is the thrill of coin collecting, discovering extraordinary value hidden in the ordinary. The 1958 wheat penny also carries emotional meaning. It reminds collectors of the final year of a design that had served America for half a century. It connects us to the late 1950s, a time of change and optimism in the country. Owning one is like holding the last page of a long and beloved story, making it even more appealing to those who love history as much as they love coins. And now, the moment you have been waiting for. If you were lucky enough to own a 1958 wheat penny in uncirculated condition, or especially one with a rare double die error, its value can reach an astonishing $76,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $76,000 for a single 1-cent coin. That is the magic of numismatics, turning something so small and ordinary into a true collector's treasure through rarity, condition, and history. So, check your collections, look carefully at your 1958 wheat pennies, and don't overlook what could be one of the most valuable coins hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed today's story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another incredible discovery from the world of rare coins. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy collecting.